A new president, another record enrollment, and a trip to the Rose Bowl for the first time in 34 years. The year 2000 was certainly a year to remember.
I am Kelly Cox, Assistant Director for Alumni Clubs for the Purdue Alumni Association. The year 2000 ushered in a new president to lead Purdue University.
I am because we are. Thank you, Purdue family.
After 17 years, Dr. Stephen Beering stepped down as president of Purdue University. Hundreds of faculty, staff, and friends gathered in May to thank the Beerings for a job well done.
As the Purdue hymn says, you will be cherished in memory by all your sons and daughters true, and the impact of your lives and actions will serve as a foundation of excellence as the decades of the 21st century unfold.
The Beering years have crystallized what the university does best. Take the institution's excellence to a new heights and shared Purdue's reputation and can-do attitude with the global community. Because of you, Purdue has never been better.
It's been a great journey. I've viewed being president of Purdue a calling, a labor of love, an unfinished symphony. And I'm privileged to have been the conductor for these past 17 years. What really matters to us is not the bricks and mortar, but it's the people, and it's the ideas that hold us together.
Made it! Woo!
Beering also presided over the last commencement ceremonies of his presidency. At one ceremony in May, Dr. Beering and his wife Jane were presented with honorary degrees.
The 10th president of Purdue University, Dr. Martin Jischke.
At a May news conference, the former president of Iowa State University, Martin Jischke, was introduced as Beering's successor. The announcement followed an 8-month search by the Board of Trustees.
Education is the most powerful tool our society has to improve for progress. Thus, this work, for me, is a very, very high calling. I clean up well.
Jischke and his wife Patty tried on Purdue's colors.
Process of setting priorities.
On August 14th, Jischke officially took office. Much of his time in the year 2000 was spent getting to know the campus and giving Boilermakers a chance to know him.
We do have another caller on the line for you.
Jischke initiated a new way to stay in touch through a monthly radio call-in show on Purdue radio station WBAA.
Yeah, I'm concerned to hear the university defined so overwhelmingly as having a mission of serving the economy.
Clearly, our mission includes educating students, and that includes exposing them to all kinds of thinking so that they, in time, can become independent and critical thinkers themselves. And second, we have a research mission which is focused on trying to understand the world. But in addition, and this is the distinctive aspect of the land-grant university, we have a mission of outreach or extension or engagement that brings us into the life of the communities we serve.
While advocating strong teaching, Jischke doesn't just talk about it. He teaches a weekly class on leadership to a group of promising freshmen.
I'm very interested in the idea of leadership and developing it in the student body.
The class, which meets at the president's house, often includes guest speakers, even an appearance by university founder John Purdue.
And the year 2000, you say? Good heavens, that would mean this year marks the 198th anniversary of my birth. No wonder I'm so tired.
Fall enrollment again reached a record level at 37,800. The number of international students also rose, giving Purdue more students from other countries than any other public research institution. These students came from 130 different countries. Many Purdue students also spent part of the year traveling to or studying in other countries. The Purdue Jazz Band spent 11 days performing in Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland, including playing at the world-famous Montreux Jazz Festival.
Makes you wonder about what really was behind all of it, you know?
There's definitely a
aura around it. I mean, it's just amazing how big it is and how they got everything to work as a calendar.
Purdue students studying at the Oxford program in England visited Stonehenge, which dates back 5,000 years.
It is. It's really
15th century, right?
Other Purdue students took part in summer study abroad programs in Ireland and Italy.
This wall continues right into that painting.
Students who leave the confines of this country and go to study and live in another country experience a profound sense of personal growth. They learn about themselves, they learn about their home culture through someone else's eyes, and they learn about the host culture as well.
Back on campus, Slater was the site for a homecoming pep rally. It included a pie-eating contest refereed by First Lady Patty Jiske. This football season saw the debut of Purdue's 21st Golden Girl as the top twirler of the All-American Marching Band. She's Abby Moore, a sophomore from Kettering, Ohio. Another debut came during halftime of the Purdue-Michigan game, when for the first time, the Jahari Dance Troupe joined the band in entertaining the crowd.
I'm Mark Wright, Director of Financial Operations for the Purdue Alumni Association. In and out of the classroom, students and faculty continue to excel.
And compare it to our unknown.
Thanks to a $1 million grant from the Keck Foundation, the structural biology program has a new high-powered electron microscope, one of only 2 in operation. Kranert's program in Germany, the German International Graduate School of Management and Administration, granted its first diplomas in July. President Beering was on hand to give master's degrees to 21 students, the first Purdue diplomas to be granted on foreign soil.
But I congratulate each of you for the remarkable accomplishments that have today culminated in a Purdue Gizmo degree.
Another good base for pulling off the proton.
Mark Loudon, an associate dean in the School of Pharmacy, was named this year's Indiana Professor of the Year by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching. Loudon uses classroom interaction and group instruction to stimulate the interest of students and help them understand difficult concepts. Researchers in the School of Agriculture's Hardwood Tree Improvement and Regeneration Center use genetic engineering techniques to help hardwood tree producers grow higher quality trees in less time.
I'm Cindy Robertson, Secretary for the Alumni Clubs with the Purdue Alumni Association. Purdue's campuses continue to grow with new buildings and landmarks.
The newly renovated art gallery in the Purdue Memorial Union was renamed in honor of Robert Ringel, Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs.
NPR's Elaine Corey reports from...
No matter where you live, you can now listen to Purdue's radio stations on your computer. WBAA AM and FM began webcasting in March. In 2001, WBAA's space in Elliott Hall will nearly double with a $1.5 million renovation.
WBAA 101.
Purdue's West Lafayette campus gained a new artistic landmark during homecoming with the dedication of a 45-foot-long bronze sculpture depicting the enduring relationship between humans and animals. The sculpture is called Continuum.
It's a spirit distilled into a marvelous bronze-based affirmation of the high place this school holds, not only on our campus, but throughout the world of veterinary medicine.
You need to come back about 3 feet.
After its creation by Seattle-area sculptor Larry Anderson, the sculpture was trucked across country, making several stops for alumni clubs along the way. Kranert began clearing ground for a new building on Grant Street across from the current building. It will be named for Jerry S. Rawls, a 1968 graduate who gave $10 million toward the $38 million facility.
It's starting to drop pretty significantly now.
As the first phase in a $200 million expansion and renovation of engineering, the School of Chemical Engineering is planning the largest upgrade to its building in the school's 60-year history.
We want to introduce modern teaching technologies, interactive learning techniques. We want to reintroduce hands-on experimental work. And then there are 2 research laboratory clusters which will involve faculty in bioengineering and then similarly a group of faculty in catalysis, surface science, and nanotech. So it's really a balance between instructional and research facilities.
The new Aquatics Center got closer to completion behind the Recreational Sports Center. The spire on University Hall was replaced this fall with a new steel structure. Originally damaged in a December 1998 windstorm, the old spire was removed completely in the summer.
I'm Sharon Martin, Director of Communications and Editor of the Purdue Alumnus Magazine. The Purdue Alumni Association expanded its programs and services in the year 2000.
Purdue alumni clubs around the world can now connect online through PAA's new website. Every club can have its own website free of charge. The new site also allows alumni to join PAA, purchase merchandise, and link to regional campus websites.
This technology is growing rapidly, and I'm pleased many of our clubs have taken advantage of this opportunity to promote their club, its activities, and to communicate with the alumni in their area.
April brought alumni back to campus for Gala Weekend and the traditional class parade. Students competed in the 43rd Grand Prix race. The winner was Jamie Wida of West Lafayette, Indiana. 5 alumni were honored at the Founders Day banquet. Christopher Kerning and Catherine Willing were presented Citizenship Awards for outstanding work in their communities. William Medici also was honored posthumously. Julie Edelman and Roy Beaumont were the first recipients of the Young Alumni Award, which honors recent graduates who provide service to the university, the Alumni Association, or their local alumni club. The Alumni Foundation Board presented the Beerings with a check for $100,000 for the Beering Scholarship Fund in honor of their 17 years of service.
But it's not the money, it's the people who are benefiting. And we have just appointed 9 new Presidential Honor Scholars and Fellows, and that brings the total to 80.
To return to old Purdue, where friends are true.
A Glee Club performance capped the evening.
Gee, I'm glad I'm going back.
In May, the PAA Student Ambassadors sponsored a hog roast for graduating seniors. In addition to food and giveaways, students banged the band's big drum or took a ride on the Boilermaker Special.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See?
Another senior send-off was held in the fall for students graduating in December. In June, PAA held a thank you party with a Caribbean theme. One lucky winner received a trip for 2 to the Caribbean.
Would you like to tell all of your newest best friends how you feel?
I'm about to pass out.
The Purdue Alumni Association welcomes you to Purdue University.
The Alumni Association sponsored a special golf cart to welcome students back to campus in August. Alumni staff also used the cart to distribute pom-poms and other giveaways at home football games.
And we're just trying to welcome them and make this stressful move-in a little less stressful. We're passing out some Dr. Pete's stress move-in tablets and some cold Purdue water.
PAA sponsored the Alumni Cafe before each home football game, featuring food and prizes.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. I'm so excited.
Each year, the Alumni Association presents special Boilermaker Awards to faculty or staff who've had a major impact on student life. This year's winners were honored at a football game. David Tate, Director of Clinical and Continuing Education for the School of Health Sciences. Roy Johnson, retired from the Office of the Registrar. Sarah Johnson, Director of Residence Hall Food Services. And Frank Murphy, retired professor from the School of Pharmacy. Accepting for Murphy was Jim Fenn from the School of Pharmacy.
So I'll give you an update on that.
The Autumn Tuesday Speaker Series brought alumni and friends together for several informative breakfasts. Guest speakers like Management Dean Rick Kozier discussed programs and initiatives around campus.
So just for the means of technology and the kind of the team environment, the openness of the new building, we're just really excited. That's going to help our educational programs a lot.
I'm Denise Burmester, Director of Membership and Marketing for the Purdue Alumni Association. A trip to Pasadena capped off the year in sports.
Number 15 will read.
34 years after the last Purdue Rose Bowl appearance, the Boilermakers held their destiny in their hands as they took the field for the final home game against IU. Following the 41-13 victory, fans stormed the field to help the team celebrate a Big Ten title and a Rose Bowl appearance against the fourth-ranked University of Washington.
Welcome to Purdue University's newest regional campus, Purdue Century City.
The Alumni Association hosted a sold-out tour to Pasadena.
The greatest moment.
In the days leading up to the game, alumni had a chance to hear both the Glee Club and the marching band.
2 days left and a lot of spaces that aren't covered with flowers growing.
Alumni also took side trips to see floats being constructed. Some also visited local theme parks. The marching band was featured at Disneyland one afternoon. The band also performed at Santa Monica Pier. Each of Purdue's schools held alumni receptions, and a John Purdue Club reception honored players from the 1967 Rose Bowl team.
And I'll tell you, these are a great bunch of guys.
Fans packed 3 levels of an outdoor plaza to fire up for the game with a pep rally that featured the cheerleaders, band.
Very proud that you've traveled all over the country, from all over the world to be here.
Executive Director Larry Prio,
Who beat the dogs out?
Coach Joe Tiller, and members of the team.
Are you family?
Purdue fans rang in the new year at a variety of venues, including the official Alumni Tour Bash that featured a live band. The morning of the game, the streets of Pasadena were packed to watch the Tournament of Roses parade, which included a giant Purdue helmet on the Big Ten float, the Purdue cheerleaders, and the Purdue All-American Marching Band.
Let's go Boilers!
After the parade, fans headed to Jackie Robinson Stadium for the largest outdoor pregame tailgate party. In addition to eating and drinking, fans could get a balloon animal or have their face painted.
Here are the Boilermakers!
More than 40,000 Purdue fans were on hand to cheer on the Boilers.
Reese on 2nd down and 10, throws high into the air to the end zone. Touchdown, Vinny Sutherland.
And though the team fought hard, the game ended with a 34-24 loss to the Washington Huskies.
Ball thrown to the end zone. Touchdown, Vinny Sutherland. Here it comes, bang, that slant.
Senior quarterback Drew Brees had another outstanding season. He broke nearly every Big Ten passing record and finished 3rd in the Heisman Trophy balloting. He received the Maxwell Trophy, was Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, and Academic All-American of the Year.
Cardinal for 3. And
A senior-dominated squad led by Brian Cardinal carried the Purdue men's basketball team to the Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament, where they lost to Wisconsin 64-60. Coach Gene Cady was named Big Ten Coach of the Year and was selected GTE Division I Coach of the Year by the National Association of Basketball Coaches. In her first year as women's basketball coach, Christy Curry led her team to a 23-8 record. Although disappointed by an early loss in the NCAA tournament, junior Katie Douglas ended the season with several honors. Douglas was named a Kodak All-American and was the Big Ten Player of the Year. The Purdue women's volleyball team celebrated its 25th anniversary under head coach Jeff Holzmeyer.
Congratulations, Purdue.
The women's golf team brought home the Big Ten title for the first time in its 25-year history. Senior Stacy Orshell was named the Big Ten Women's Golf Athlete of the Year after shooting a conference best 67 during the first round of the championships. The Campen course was the site of the Big Ten Men's Golf Championship, where the team took second place. Sophomore Lee Williamson and freshman Chris Mason were named to the All-Big Ten Conference team.
Step on it now!
The Purdue Crew Club finished as the top college rowing club in the country and ahead of many intercollegiate teams. The Purdue Club is raising money to build a new $3.5 million boathouse.
Coming to you from the pre-game Boilermaker tailgate party in Pasadena, California. Hope you've enjoyed this year's Newsreel. Hope you'll continue to support your university and your alumni association. Hail Purdue.
Hail to old Purdue. On the Wabash she stands with her welcoming hands as an alma mater true. Far and wide she's our own Hoosier pride. Ever we loyal will be. So we'll sing it out and we'll raise a shout for our university. Then hail, all hail to old Purdue, the pride of all the West. We'll sing out the story and we'll tell out the glory of the school we love the best. Then hail, all hail to old Purdue.